So, as I've shared before, my goal at the Wild Temple is in healing our relationships with ourselves and with nature. So, in my upcoming Tantric Herbalism plant and or flower and plant spirit wisdom course, I will share new ways of perceiving nature while also giving a solid methodology for spiritual practice. This course is a panoramic view of my more in-depth self-study course, the Yogi's Apothecary, and it's leading us to a really strong foundation for how to be healthy while on a spiritual path. So the tools that we'll be working with in this live 4-week course, which is offered through Kripalu Yoga Meditation Center, I'm super psyched about that, are our senses as the gateway of our power and our connection, as well as specific key plants for this program and key techniques with Tantra Yoga and philosophy. So in the first week, we discussed the current state of modern life and how even our spiritual practices can unknowingly lead us to more disassociation and disconnection, spiritual bypassing. We saw that largely during the pandemic. It can lead to blocks in deep nourishment, as well as even obstacles in our minds, such as fear and doubt, etc. On the other side of the spectrum, it can lead us to inflated egos, misguiding people, and manipulation and power imbalances. So this is all really good to look at. We'll also continue in the following weeks at looking at how our health issues from modern life and our spiritual practices can also be supported by the plants for our spiritual growth. So we look at things such as the nervous system and how we can really address imbalances here that can be exacerbated by stress and even our breathing practices, trauma, right? All of that. We can look at the ways that the nervous system and the digestive system connect and mental imbalances or balances that occur as a result of that. We're going to look at ways that we can really become deeply nourished, strengthen our digestive capacity, and become more spiritually capable as practitioners, as teachers, as guides, through working with the plants, through connecting with nature. And we'll also look at the mental and emotional realms as how life and practice can be very stressful and can kind of stir things up so that we want to instead not feel all crazy and full of doubt and disconnect and despair and angst and guilt and all this stuff that's arising, but connected and whole and empowered. And when we get into the mental realm, we're actually going into the subtle realms of plants. So it's the subtle realms of ourselves, our subtle bodies, psycho-spiritual and emotional realms, and the plants meet us here. So throughout this work, I do have specific plants that I've chosen. I'm super excited about them, to introduce them to you, and as well as kind of building this framework for spiritual practice that starts with foundation, the soil. It's called Bhumi Sadhana. And the result is that each person will have a deeper connection to the plants, to nature, catalyzing not only a deep healing for themselves, but a stronger spiritual capacity. Because Tantric Herbalism, it's a spiritual practice. We use Tantra Yoga and the plants for this alchemical methodology that leads us to physical health, nature connection, and spiritual awakening. It is alchemy. I feel it's alchemy at its finest, right? So I welcome any beginner, seasoned practitioner, or anyone who really knows herbs and the plants. I feel like you'll still get some really good juice out of this 4-week program offered through Kripalu, and I hope to see you there. All right? If not, get out into nature. Start connecting, right? Meditate with the plants and the trees. All right. Blessings.